Hey guys, just got done watching 1981's The Beyond from Lucio Fulci, and let me tell you something, I love Italian horror movies. I do. I've got a big soft spot for them. I love the music. I love the directing. Suspiria is one of my favourite Argento movies. I have to be honest, I don't like it as much as Inferno, but I love it. I still like it. The colour, the lights, everything amazing. The music. I love Gallios because I love the music in them, which I'll be reviewing at some point because I've got over 100 of them. And I just love all Italian cinema. It's just so classy. It's in a world of its own. And I have to be honest. I love the movies subtitled and dubbed. I love watching them dubbed because of how funny the voices are. And I love watching them in the original language because I love kind of hearing the accents and I love seeing what they're actually really saying. Because I find in a lot of dubs they change it around so much that it's just like, bloody hell, you've ruined the movie to a big degree because a lot of the translation's gone. So overall, I really, really love Italian movies. You'll see that in the future. Trust me. So this movie starred Catriona McCall as Catherine McCall. That was her name when she was credited. David Warbeck, Cynthia Monreale, Antonio St. John, Veronica Lazara, Anthony Lees, Giovanni De Nava. He played Joe, the plumber. I love Joe the plumber. Al Cleaver, Michelle Marabatti, Giancarlo Saclaranga. Yeah, I cannot say Italian names. I admit it. I cannot say it properly. But anyway, in Louisiana, 1927, a group of men storm a local hotel on the edge of a swamp and burst into a painter's named Skiwick room, who they believe is a warlock. They drag him down to the basement. Skiwick warns him that the hotel was built over one of the 7 gateways to hell. Now, before I carry on, there was meant to be 3 Gateway to Hell movies, but one never happened. One was Gateway to Hell, obvious, and the other one was The Beyond, and then there was going to be a Beyond 2, but it never happened, which is a bit sad because this movie is pretty good. Okay, and but only he can protect them from it. They ignore him and brutally beat him and crucify him. Skip forward to 1981. New Yorker Lisa Mirrell, played by Catherine McCall, inherits the now abandoned and run-down hotel. Two creepy helpers, the housekeeper Martha and a general handyman named Arthur. She decides to repair the place. Oh, before I get into that, Arthur is great. Arthur looks really creepy. He's like this most of it. Like at one point he's in a room. I swear he's trying to smell her panties because he's in there going. And when she catches him, he goes, "I'm looking for the keys." And she goes, "I'll look for them myself." Okay. So she decides to repair the place and reopen it. Unfortunately, things start to turn sour immediately. One of the painters falls off the second floor scaffolding and the local plumber Joe comes round to fix the plumbing down in the basement. Right? Now, this is where we find out the Skiwick is in the basement. You know, behind the wall. Because the wall starts melting. And Joe goes like this. And a hand comes out and pulls his eyeball out and kills him, basically. Which was amazing. Which was really amazing. Okay. Local plumber finds Skiwick's rotted corpse, and behind the wall in the flooded basement, Skiwick then gouges Joe's eyes out, and Lisa is warned by a blind woman, Emily. Okay. Well, before I carry on, Lisa was driving down this long highway, it's a long shot. And then all of a sudden she sees Emily. She sees Emily and her dog. That's right, a dog. And just as Lisa's about to practically hit her, she turns around and goes, and she warns her. She says, "Leave the hotel at once. Don't go back. Be gone. Be gone or you will die." Okay. But she is in great danger and must leave. Dr. John McCabe and his assistant Dr. Harris examine both Joe's and Skewick's corpses. Interested, McCabe becomes involved with Lisa and they both start to investigate the strange events. Soon they realise the gateway to hell under the hotel has been opened and zombies are appearing everywhere. That that was the best I could do basically for the whole plot. Because I guess Italian films are great, but most of the time, especially zombie ones, they can get quite confusing, you know? So I'm going to say some of my favourite scenes in the movie. One of my favourite scenes has to be the spider scene. There's a bit where a guy's looking at a ball, all of a sudden, like, his thunder knocks him off the ladder, and he goes flying on the floor and knocks out, like, ugh. And then all these spiders start crawling to him from nowhere. Big, massive, hairy ones. Crawling to him, and they crawl on him, and then they get on his face and start biting his face and practically eating it. Yeah, that's right. Like, but when you see them crawling on him from underneath, they're obviously crawling on a glass table. And when they're biting him, it's obviously fake ones. Because you can tell someone's pulling it and pushing it back because it's really pathetically done. But it's still good. Another scene I liked was the dog whipping the woman's neck out. That was awesome. And I like the ending. I really like the ending. The ending where, spoiler alert, they're running away through the laboratory. They're running and they go down the stairs where they find they're back at the hotel. And they carry on walking and it's like an abyss of mist. And they walk up, they keep walking and it's just like they're in hell. All of a sudden their eyes turn white like Emily's and they vanish. So all that time it was worth nothing. They never stopped anything. But you know what I like about Lucio Fulci's movies? Unlike a lot of movies, his zombie movies don't just end happy days, you know, like everybody doesn't survive. People don't live happy ever after. They disappear or something bad happens or there's a long scar. Like Joe's wife and the little girl whose eyes go white, I can't remember her name. She goes in to see Joe, her husband. And she gets knocked back and this acid pours on her face. Yep. So that was good. It's a good, if I had to recommend it, I'd say it's a good horror film. I'd say there's a lot of bits in it you're going to sit there and you're going to go, this doesn't really make sense. What's this about? But I think it's the culture thing. It's like if I put on a film from India right now and I watch it subtitled, more than likely I'm going to have no idea what's going on because they're going to have a different culture and different aspects to what we've got, you know, or from what other people around the world have got. You know, I could put on a movie from Japan and luckily for me I've studied a lot of Japanese culture, so I normally get the gist of it. But it's still difficult sometimes because you don't know. Like how Japanese people have the whole ancestor ghost thing going on. We can't understand that, majority of us, because we don't have that view. So it's more creepy to us watching a Japanese movie because you can see that they mean it. You can see the passion in it from the fear that they really have of it. You see? So the movie's good. It's got a great soundtrack. It's well acted. I liked Catherine McCall in it. I thought she was awesome. She's very beautiful in it. This was made in 1981. Yeah. And she's very beautiful in it. I'm sure she's very beautiful now. I would probably ask her out if I could right now. And yeah, it's a good, like I said, it's a great film. Very, very well acted. Great score. Great special effects. So gory. Extremely gory. And that's what I want to say. I want to see blood dripping down people's faces and necks. The zombies are a bit weak though, because other than the certain ones that have got scars on their faces and that, majority of them look normal with just cuts in their heads. So I'm guessing the Beyond 2, if it had been made, was gonna finish off the story of the 7 gateways, but it never happened. Sadly. But I'm quite glad it didn't, because if it ended up like the Mother's trilogy, oh dear. I mean, Suspiria, excellent. Inferno, even better. Mother of Tears, Absolutely awful. That movie was absolutely dreadful. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to give the movie a 4 out of 5 because I like the movie. I think it's got I think it's got a lot going for it. I think it's a shame it doesn't make as much sense as it should, because if it did, I'm sure a lot more people would enjoy it. I also think that it drags on a little bit in the middle, but it could have been a lot better. And that Fulci has his own style, but I think the problem is, I think with Fulci it was more about the gore to a certain extent in his zombie movies than it was the story. When you watch Zombie Flesh Eaters, that's one of everybody's favourite movies, and for good reason. But again, it doesn't have a happy ending. So that's one thing I like about Fortune movies, like I said earlier. So I give it a 4. I really enjoyed it, and I recommend it to all zombie fans. And if you haven't watched any Italian cinema, make sure to watch this. It's not the best zombie movie. If you want a better zombie movie, check out Zombie Flesh Eaters or City of the Living Dead. That's my favourite one anyway, of his. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review, and let me know what you think of the movie down below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.